What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of a movie resurrection review. Today, we're going to be talking about Gleaming the Cube. All right, Gleaming the Cube. Real quick, it's a movie about a California skateboarder who solves and avenges the death of his adopted brother. That's pretty much all you need to know. I'm in, honestly, on that.
Through skateboarding.
Through skateboarding. Ish. Okay, so when did the movie come out?
January of 89.
January 1989. What was the budget for this film?
$10 million.
$10 million for a movie, even in 1989, I'm going to say is...
Pretty steep. That's a lot.
You think? I don't think it's that bad. No, the problem is...
It only made $2.77 million in the box office. Oh my gosh, guys.
It was written by Michael Tolkien and directed by Graeme Clifford, Graeme. I mean, we've done some movies with some weird names for directors and writers for some reason. So who does this movie star?
It stars Christian Slater.
Some of his
guys might know him as Will Scarlet from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yep, he was also in Interview with the Vampire. He was the interviewer.
Little side note: did you know that role was supposed to be for River Phoenix?
I did know that. Yes, unfortunately, River Phoenix had an untimely death, so he got it. He was in Heathers, Cuffs, Pump Up the Volume, which actually Cuffs and Pump Up the Volume both you might see on this. Maybe he's done some pretty big time movies. True Romance, one of his bigger ones. Right. True Romance. And the next star is Stephen Bauer, and his most notable role was
Manny from Scarface.
We IMDb'd him. Okay, I'm lying. We didn't. We did Wikipedia. Does Wiki still get a bad rap?
I don't know if it does or not.
It's accurate though.
It's insightful.
It's accurate. No, it's accurate. I'm telling you.
Okay.
And if you go in there, like anyone can edit Wiki. If you go in there and do it, they got mods and they move it back quickly.
All right, good then.
You know how I know that? Your nephew did it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of course he would.
So what is this movie about? California skateboarder solves and avenges the death of his adopted brother. Well, I'm in.
Yeah.
I think everyone else should be in, but well, based on the box office, we know they weren't. All right. Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly on this. The good.
It holds up. It's a good movie. None of the acting was really like excellent, but everyone did their part. None of it was really bad. So like it just stayed a good solid movie.
Agreed.
And
I agreed.
Watching it as a little kid, I'm glad that I was still entertained and it still held up.
I gotta be honest, when we watched it again for this, I was like, dang, not bad. Which brings us to the story, and the story is basically Brian Kelly's character has an adopted Vietnamese brother, and he stumbles upon this like money laundering kind of thing going on at the medical supply place that he worked at. And let's suspend reality just a little bit. It's a movie, so he takes it upon himself to go in and try to stop, and ultimately winds up getting murdered. Okay, and then Christian Slater's character Brian Kelly, the police aren't really taking it too seriously, so he wants to figure out who killed his brother, because blood or not, still family. You know what I mean? So he kind of goes on this like
revenge rampage of detectiveness.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And that's where the skateboarding and stuff comes in, because he gets a little help from his friends, if you will, and whatnot. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I actually like the story. I like the acting. It holds up. Christian Slater, I thought has always been pretty solid, even from a young age. You know?
Okay.
Kind of sounds like Jack Nicholson a lot of bit, because he just kind of talks like this, and you sit there and you're, you know what I mean? Like, he definitely kind of mimics him, and the eyes and whatever. Christian, we get it. You're a heartthrob.
Talks with his eyes.
Cool hair. Got it. Cool. One thing I want to throw into this good category is the skateboarding.
How are you going to have Gleaming the Cube without mention the skateboarding?
Right. Gleaming the Cube is... Is that even a skateboard term before this movie? Christian Slater in the movie says basically it's going as hard as you can, is what Gleaming the Cube means. Anyone who actually skates and actually like look, don't get I love skateboarding, the skateboard culture back in the 80s, 90s. I loved it all, okay? Loved it all. But I don't know if this was actually a real term or not. And actually, boo on us for not looking that up. I gotta be honest, that just hit me. Boo. That just hit me. Boo. Okay, so that's going to lead us into not only our ratings of the film, but we always talk about the Rotten Tomato scores. And the Rotten Tomato score for this movie,
29%.
29%, which basically means the tomato score is critics, reviewers. So they didn't like it. But the popcorn meter, which is the user, I guess, or the watcher, the movie goer's score,
was 68%.
Okay, a lot better.
A lot better.
A lot better. At 68%, I mean, according to them, it's a 7, basically.
Yeah.
It's a 7. Okay, now our scores. Now, we don't rate these based on your classics. Like Shawshank is going to be a 10. Casino, Goodfellas is going to be a 10, right?
Right.
If you go into like your Gone with the Winds type and Breakfast at Tiffany's types, those are 8, 9s, 10s, whatever, right? So now we're rating this on an underrated movie, because that's why we're doing this.
Right.
Underrated, lesser known films. So we're rating these movies for themselves, not comparing them against anything else. Okay.
Right.
That being said, Tim, go for it.
I'm going to give it a solid 6.5. Solid 6.5.
0 why? Do you got a why? Do you got an explanation?
No, it loses points because of the bad and the ugly, of course. But the good still carry. I mean, it's still a good movie. It's nothing great. It's nothing spectacular. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I would watch it again.
You know what? Good score.
Yeah.
Good score.
What about you?
I'm going to expand on what you said just a little bit, because that was some of what I was just thinking just now. I think, would I watch it again? I know. I got words. Would I watch it again? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I remember it being as good as it was? No, I don't. Because last time I saw that, I was probably 10, 11?
No, right.
12
right.
maybe? I don't know. Right? Of course, you got the soundtrack, which lacks the acting. Doable, passable, slightly above average. For me, the skateboarding is what really kind of sets it off, right? Just because in that age and in that era, although I couldn't skateboard for shit, I loved skateboarding. I loved watching it. I loved the skateboard culture. I loved all of that. Okay. I'm going to go with you at 6.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, 6.5.
That's the first time we agreed?
I think so.
Okay.
Worth the watch.
Worth the watch.
Is what we're saying.
Yes,
worth the watch.
Definitely.
Little better than average, but not quite cracking into that 7.5, where it's like, yo, you got to watch this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right?
I mean, I got one question.
Yes.
And that has nothing to do with that. Did you hear that little chimey? My phone's off, and it still chimed.
I missed that.
Anyways, 6.5. I definitely agree with what you're saying, brother. Watch it. Definitely watch it. You're not gonna be like, oh, give me 2 hours or an hour and a half of my life back. It's not gonna happen.
Agreed. You won't be disappointed. Worth the watch. Definitely watch it. Yeah. I mean, we've reviewed some pretty bad movies on here. After we watched them, we used to love them when we were kids, watched them, and we were like, oh my God, yeah. This ain't one of them.
No.
Definitely go watch the movie. Yeah, like you said, if you got an hour and a half to kill on a Tuesday night, pop it in. Why not? Really appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us, and listening to our ramblings. We definitely have another one of these coming up very, very soon, because we're actually filming like 4 of these tonight.
Yes.
Or at least maybe not tonight, but next week. And by the time you watch this, it might be 3 weeks from now. Hey, look, it doesn't matter. You're going to get more, and that's the important thing.
Forget about it.
Sayonara.